to Germany in Australia.
We're Ben and Shelley, and we've been travelling around Australia full-time for a year now in our ever-breaking transit van Freddie. We started in Queensland, made our way up through the Territory and back down the west coast. We've just crossed the Nullarbor and are now enjoying South Australia, so follow along as we try and dodge all the BS along the way. After just 2 weeks on our whirlwind tour of South Australia, we still have lots of ground to cover before we have to cross the border to Victoria in only a week's time. So follow along as we hit some of the best and more unique sites, and stick around to the end as we've got some exciting news on what's happening next.
We may or may not have just put a deposit down.
We finally made it to Adelaide, and our first stop was the Central Markets to sample some delicious food and the odd sweet treat. We timed it to be in Adelaide during the Fringe Comedy Festival. All the streets were bustling with performers and the restaurants had seats all outside. And we topped off the day with a perfect combo of sunset and Mexican food. So I'm here in central Adelaide, just me back in the big city. I went to the market this morning, bought a few berries and cheeses, but the main reason for coming in was I was trying to get my Olympus film camera fixed. I can. The guy's ordering a part in for Tuesday, so we're coming back in for then. But that means that I've got to finish a roll of film before then. I've taken 4 photos, so I've got a bit of a mission ahead of me to get through another 30 before Tuesday. So let's see what I get up to, hey? So behind me is where it all began. 2 years ago, almost exactly to the week. This is the Playfoot Hotel in central Adelaide, and that's where we quarantined when we first got to Australia. It was, actually quite fun. Cheers, Shelley, to beers and drinks on our sunny balcony. Day 4? Day 4. Incredible food, hot tub, balcony. It was actually really good. We made it. We've got 24 hours left. Cheers. But we definitely got lucky with it. Yeah, that was our little room there. And for 2 weeks, we looked out onto this street. I must say it's much better being on the outside than on the inside. Our wine tour of South Australia continued on the Fleurieu Peninsula as we regrouped again with Chris and Nadine. First stop was at Down the Rabbit Hole in McLaren Vale. This is a fun little family-run winery set in the hills where the tasting is actually done in an old double-decker bus from the UK. Almost made me feel like I was back in London, except, you know, it was actually warm. We headed onto the incredible Selix Beach because you know we can't resist a good beach park up. We even braved the cold waters too. That night, the 6 of us had a lovely camp up in amongst the forests. Shelley cooked up a feast, and Chris had even caught a fresh squid for some calamari. The next morning we dived headfirst into the crazy world of the D'Arenberg Cube, by far the most unique winery that we'd been to. Part art exhibition, part winery, it was a feast for the eyes and the palate. After honestly a strange experience at the Cube, we needed some food, so we headed to Pizzateca. This was an absolute gem, with incredible food and a couple of good drinks to wash it down with as well. Slices? We can cut the slices in half.
Thank you, Noah. Very good.
After an amazing couple of days on the Fleurieu with our friends, we headed to Harndorf for a quick afternoon before making our way out towards Victoria. Harndorf is a small town in South Australia, just 30 kilometres out of Adelaide. It's famous for its German population and as such, its German food and drink.
Welcome to Germany, in Australia. Couldn't come to Harndorf without getting a warm pretzel.
We hit the road south towards the Victoria border and stopped in at the Little Blue Lake. This sinkhole is 45 metres deep and is a rich, deep blue colour.
How cool is this? So we're at, it's literally, the highway is right there. It's called Little Blue Lake, it's a flyover thing. And yeah, we're gonna do this, drive 15 minutes and have a nice hot shower for free at the petrol station down the road. Oh my gosh, it's so wobbly.
The Urfiston sinkhole.
We're here somewhere at some cool sinkhole. We'll link it, make the name of it known below because I don't know how to say it, but it's this garden sinkhole, and this is our last attraction before we cross into Victoria and finish our lap of Australia. How insane is that? We just celebrated 1 whole year of full-time travel on the road 2 days ago, and we're just about to finish circumnavigating my homeland of Australia. So exciting, but first, let's check out this sinkhole garden. Something we don't know. Oh, and if you're here, there's a petrol station down the road that if you fuel up, you get a free shower, and it was so warm and so good and super, super clean. So if you're in the neighborhood and need a shower, it's a good one. So there used to be water all in the bottom of this back in the 1900s, and a few years ago it was bought out and all of this was planted. There used to be barbecues, but there is another sinkhole about 20 minutes away that we checked out earlier on today. It was blue as anything and such a nice swim, but it was pretty chilly, so that warm shower was needed. He's so big. Australia, but when we came in we missed the border crossing and all we got a photo with was the Vegemite kangaroo. Couldn't not stop to pull over and take a photo here, but really, we're in Victoria and we are about to hit the Great Ocean Road and about to finish our lap. Welcome to Victoria. We may have been here and road tripped a while in the Subaru, but we're now here in our van and we're ready to explore again, see friends and family, and slowly make our way back up to Brisbane before we leave to New Zealand. And we may or may not have just put a deposit down on another transit van in New Zealand. So things are getting very real, and I think we've got, 5 weeks to make our way back to Brisbane, sell the van, get everything ready, and get on a flight to New Zealand. So we don't have all that much time, and we're doing East Coast trip to visit friends and family and say goodbye, because I can't see us coming back to Oz for the next little while.
We spent the night watching little wallabies hop around while camped at the Sawpit campground, just in from the Victoria border. So let's see what I get up to, hey?
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. It was nice to meet you. This is Ben.
Hey.
We're gonna buy a van. Again. Without looking at it. So, that was our friend Nick and Tamara. It was Tamara's friend who lives in New Zealand, and they were only 5 minutes away from where the van currently in question is. So we got a third party to look at it for us. It turns on, he sent us lots of videos. I mean, it's risky buying a van. We had all the issues with this. I feel like if we can get through what we did in the last year.
I think so. We'll go through this.
And my dad made a very good point yesterday when I was speaking to him about it, that obviously it's a risk putting it up there now, but we like the layout of this van, and we're a bit fussy because it's going to be winter. We want to be able to cook inside and have the warmth and comfort of the inside of a van, and not just a van that you have to live outside in, because we are going skiing in it, and it could be up to like -10, -15 degrees Celsius. So yeah, and Dad's point was, if we get to New Zealand, we could end up just buying something because we have to buy something, and
that's the first thing we see.
Yeah, and that's when we could end up with something bad. And the dates work out. These guys are leaving New Zealand just as we're arriving, so it works out really, really well. So here we are, sitting in a car park in the sun, buying a van to go skiing in the winter.